Wreck-R, everyone. A character you guys have been asking me to showcase for well over a year at this point, and one I had completely forgotten about until this very morning. But don't fret, old friends. Just like our new magical mechanical here, I too will uphold order and give the commenters what they seek. They are wholly fueled by the power of gems, they were born in the darkness, and they also house a secret in their circuits because of that. But here's a question, where the heck's their hats? Well, in their starting inventory, of course. I had seriously thought that I had downloaded the wrong character at first glance, but no. Wreck-R here can't always be wrecking, I suppose, so his Dome of Power is removable whenever reasonable. In its inert state, however, all it's going to serve to do is make it look cooler. But trust me, it's going to be very important down the line. For now, though, let's get back on track with what we always start with, the stats. Wreck-R has quite the unusual rundown that will get even stranger here in a minute. But note an average hunger of 150, a random level of sanity at 160, and a below average health of 125 respectively. Odd, but workable for sure. But look at what happens when Wreck-R here is down under in the caves during a nightmare phase. 2 out of 3 of these stats see a dramatic change. His sanity will plummet to a max of 40, while his health will increase to 175 overall. But that's not all. During this time, Wreck-R will also become a nightmare version of themselves that will not only change their entire style, but will boost their damage output by 25%. Now, I believe this is in fact the extent of the Nightmare Wreck-R for the most part, as I couldn't really tell if anything else had changed, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Still, the form is a nice touch in relation to his lore at the end of the day. And you know, said lore will also bleed into another aspect of Wreck-R here, his tolerance for darkness. It's not the easiest thing to see really, however Wreck-R will be losing less sanity over time come dusk and night. Again, it might be hard to tell, even with these examples before you now. But it is a thing that will be constantly working in the background for you as you go along regardless, so bonus points there. But now's the time to stop faffing about and actually get to his main ability, his magical noggin. While he will be spawning with one in his inventory, any additional inert domes of power can and will be made at any ancient pseudoscience station in the game. Costing 3 Thulsite, 4 Nightmare Fuel, and 1 gear each. They are fully interchangeable at will, as you can see in the bottom left there. However, you should still note that we can quote-unquote refuel these domes by simply socketing similar or different gems within a single one. If a dome is at 100% durability, the gem will also not be lost upon switching powers as well, so that's really good. But what are these powers and what changes should we expect upon inserting specific gems into our heads? Well, we will be enjoying the added bonus of an aesthetic change per gem socketed, which is absolutely lovely. And occasionally, the new domes will also offer bonuses, like how the fiery one here will not only absorb some heat for us come summer, but will also help us deal an additional 25% damage as fire damage while in combat. Now, mobs hit with this don't seem to stay ablaze currently, but I'm not entirely sure if that's intentional or not. However, I do know that when we deplete a gem within a dome, we don't lose said dome, but rather the gem effect instead. And that's definitely an upside considering their expensive crafts for sure. And yes, it will apply to every single gem type, mind you, including blue gems. A socketed blue gem turns the dome frigid, and it will then absorb some of the cold come winter to help keep us warm. It will act as a rather weak armor, but an armor with 735 durability nonetheless, and it will also help us freeze attackers when they go in for a munch or two now and then. Not too shabby. Socketing purple gems into our face will lead to us forcing Wreck-R's nightmare form to take hold, even outside of the caves, but it will cost us for sure. The form will not last very long, as the dome will drain very quickly, only to be refueled via more purple gems alone, mind you, and this forced state will come with a negative sanity aura drain too. so be aware of that. Now, we'll still benefit from the health and damage increases though, and we'll look pretty frickin' sweet along the way, so I'd say it's worth it. The Leisurely Dome of Power is next, and is obtained via placing an orange gem in our heads, and this dome will offer us 20 uses in total, with each use allowing for us to instantly pick and harvest resources, crops, you name it. Now that might seem like an expensive gimmick, but I can definitely see the need now and then. Green gems smashed into our domes won't be having any resources needed for recipes, unfortunately, but they will still be impacting crafting, as they will double the speed at which we craft anything. And yup, that's the gist. 15 uses per constructive dome of power, by the way. The Radiant Dome of Power is next, and I'd be willing to bet that most of you probably saw this coming. But using yellow gems, we can create this new dome to benefit from a personal light source for half a day, a positive sanity aura of plus 6.7 per minute for that time as well, and the ability to offer said positive sanity aura to others around us too. Now, that was supposed to come at the cost of us potentially overheating, however the mechanic is done broken at the moment. That said, a very similar mechanic exists with the Lunar Dome of Power here, obtained via an iridescent gem that does actually work, but in the exact opposite direction of course, so make notes there. But as we wrap up the day, it's time for the ghost and voice showcases, folks. Things we haven't done in what seemingly feels like a long time. But here's our magical mechanical when all of his magic has run out. And here's his magical mechanical voice. Enjoy. And there you have it, everyone. Wreck-R, the magical mechanical by the Tiddler. Now, I must admit that I really didn't think much about this machine at first glance, and really only set out to do this guide simply to please those continuously asking for it, but I've gotta say, I've actually been won over by many of the ideas behind Wreck-R here. So well done, Tiddler, and to all of those who helped bring them to us here today. But have fun wrecking, folks. Thanks for watching. Well wishes to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.